All right, welcome in to 4 Pages. Today I'm joined by Andy Justus. Andy, you have two daughters.
I do.
They like
Joyfully
to read.
so. I
Yeah,
have two daughters,
you're a
I
girl
should say.
dad. You are the
Yeah.
girl dad of the station, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we connect because you're a girl dad. I am a daughter, and my dad only has girls.
Yes.
And so, what are some books that your daughters just loved reading when they were, in those early ages?
Well, I will tell you, we poured it on pretty heavy when the girls were, and I think a lot of that had to do with being here at the station and interviewing my friends from Opportunity School, and we just know that it works, right? We know reading books to kids at an early age, it matters. Whether you talk to Chandra Perkins, whose entire mission is to get books in kids' hands, we know that that makes a difference. And as a parent, when you're sitting down with that kid and you're reading the book, you see it come alive, right? And so Maisie was our first. Maisie just turned 15 not too long ago. And for those of you who don't know, so Maya and I talk a lot at work about parenting, about just stuff, about life. And so she knows kind of the ups and downs of being a girl dad and the drama that sometimes that ensues. But going back to a more peaceful time of my favorite thing was coming home during my dinner break, and I would get to read to Maisie before we put her down. And I'm going to bring this up. This book right here. Let me tell you, Chicka Chicka Boom Boom by Billy Martin Jr. And I'm telling you, she absolutely loved it. This book was so impactful. And it really is just teaching them the alphabet, right? And it's just going through the process. And she just, man, I'm telling you, she ate it up. Yeah. As a matter of fact, that book is worn out. It's barely held together now, but we do still have it. Yeah. It's one of the things that we wanted just to keep. It's in the attic in one of her keepsake boxes where we want her to be able to have that at some point in her life to do with what she will. That was, and we also did that with Piper, and it just anything with like lots of sounds and very, every time we would say chicka chicka boom boom, she would lose her mind. So I think about that being really instrumental. There was another, which was really nice for Maisie. She had a book that had her name in it.
Nice. It's always fun when you can make that connection as a reader and you feel like you're a part of the book.
Yes, and I think people are kind of, they remember this. Oh, I don't know if they remember it, but it went a lot of. It was very meaningful to us. I'm going to bring this. It's like it's not spelled the way Maisie's is, but there was a whole bunch of different ones. Like Maisie goes to preschool. Yeah. And then Maisie goes to the city, and it is just. Maisie makes lemonade. So Maisie is a little mouse, and so there was even this one book that we got to do some fun things with, which she just ate those up. I was partial to this one right here. Okay. You guys remember this one, right? This was the Daisy Head Maisie. I loved Dr. Seuss. Okay. So and still Seuss do. In fact, any of the Dr. Seuss's that we went through, obviously, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and everybody knows about that. But, I mean, Maya, we wore those books out.
See, did they like green eggs and ham?
Yeah, I did. They didn't like it as much as I did. Okay. I liked that one a lot. There's so much rhyme in it, and it's so colorful to me. Yes. And so that was something that I just kind of navigated toward. I think Maisie now, so she's my teenager. Yeah. And parents don't judge me for this. She just loved it. I think, what is it? What I did last.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I Know What You Did. Is that like a romantic series? Kind of.
That might not be that one, though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The Summer I Turned Pretty.
That's it. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. I Know What You Did Last Summer is like a horror movie.
It's like, I don't think that one's it.
She didn't like that.
The Summer I Turned Pretty feels like more her speed.
Yeah. She is our helpless romantic. She loves watching rom-coms and all the things.
Yeah.
Her and her mom bond over that. I will watch them. It's fine. But I
they're not
think
your
sometimes
favorite.
I want to connect with my girls. And so whatever that takes. Sometimes I'm watching rom-coms. She turned me into a big T Swift fan.
Nice.
Because I would listen to it because I'm
Yeah.
like, this is what she wants
That's
to
what
do.
she likes.
And then I'm like, oh, well, this
It's kind of good.
this is kind of good.
Yeah.
This morning? You would have loved this. I let her DJ on the way to school. So I take Maisie because we're going to two different schools. I take Maisie and Michelle takes Piper.
Yeah.
And I always let Maisie DJ. And so she throws in some really cool chaperone song that I.
Is it Pink Pony?
No, we rock that one too.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Okay.
It was some song that I hadn't known, but it was a banger. And I was like, okay, I like this. And so, again, I think as parents, we have to make those connections. And it goes back into reading of making those through those books.
Yeah.
So those were the big ones for us that we really dove into. I would say as a kid, I developed a love for reading, and I struggled with. At the time, they didn't call it dyslexia, but now as Piper is kind of transversing that part of life and all the things that we have her in, I'm like, oh, that's what I had.
Yeah.
So I was in remedial reading pretty much from first grade through the sixth grade, just in and out of those programs, and I struggled, and I didn't like to read because I wasn't good at it, and I just felt dumb. I mean, that is authentic. That is an authentic feeling that I had when I was in school. When it came to the reading part, I didn't get it, and I just remember thinking, please don't call on me.
The popcorn reading and all the things
yes,
like that.
I was like, please do not do that. So I kind of began to change about the time I went out to Boys Ranch, and the books that did it for me were the Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Okay.
I don't know how many people remember those. I remember we were talking about this in the newsroom.
And I was like, I have never done that book before, but you explained it, and it's fun because you said you get to create your own adventure.
Right. So this is kind of what they. I'm gonna just kind of pop this up so that way everybody can kind of see what I'm talking about. So there were these series of books that you would read, but you got to decide how the book went. So you're reading it. So if it was like the book Space and Beyond, you get to decide. You were born on a spaceship traveling between galaxies and raised by parents from two different planets. But you got to decide, like, when it came to a part in the book, if you wanted them to continue whatever that adventure was, you turn to page 92. If you don't, turn to page 34. And each time you do it, there's really, in that book in particular, there are like 44 different possible endings. Nice. So we didn't have a lot of money. And so I really got the best of both worlds in that book could change each time I read it.
Yeah.
Depending on what I did. So I remember coming in out of Boys Ranch, we called them town trips. So I would come in on the weekend and I would go to Hastings or we'd go to Walmart and I would typically they would come in like a four, I think it was a 4-book set. I mean, it was between 3 and 5 books in a set, and you would buy those. Maya, oh my gosh. And that was the thing that really changed it for me. And then I went into my most favorite book growing up as a child that I read, where I knew I was hooked, was The Never-Ending Story.
Yeah.
Because it took me on this amazing journey, and I think that's when I fell in love with it, because I didn't have a lot to do as a kid. The money wasn't there, but I could take these incredible journeys through literature. And for me, it was Choose Your Own Adventure. It was there were these series of books back then called Dragonlands. It was like this fantasy world, kind of like not really like Dungeons and Dragons, but it was kind of this fun thing. And then it just sparked a love for reading.
And I think that's one thing that people, like, I don't know how you read so many books, but it's like once you find kind of a genre or something that you really enjoy, it's easy to like stay hooked on it. And so for you as a parent who, growing up, reading wasn't your favorite thing until you found your thing. And now you've kind of dealt with two different scenarios with both of your daughters.
Right.
What was like that change like of, going from, we have one daughter who she's like, she loves reading to now helping Piper find a book or a series that she loves reading?
Yeah, Piper was different in that Maisie really took to it. And I don't know if it's because it's a second kid and
The
I don't know if
babies.
it's that, right? Like your first kid comes along, Maisie, and we're like reading all the time and we're doing this. And then by the time Piper comes along, which I think there's just like 2.5 years difference there. You're dealing with two kids now.
Right.
And so you're trying to, and we read all the same books to Piper, and I can't remember one. I text Michelle if there was one book that jumped out for her, and she's busy literally picking up. I think she's on the way to pick up Maisie from school right now, and so I'm wanting. Piper hasn't fallen in love yet.
Okay.
With
gotta
reading.
find her something.
And she's just not quite there. To her, because of dyslexia and the struggles that she has there, she hasn't found her thing yet. And so to her, reading is work, and reading, going to school is work, and so that and I'm hoping we pull through something that wraps her up, that boosts her. So she literally is in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
The 7th grade is where it happened for me.
Okay.
I'm hoping that's what happens because right now,
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Right.
some of the Piper stories. Right now, it's not Piper's thing.
Yeah.
She is, it's not, and
It's
that's
not
okay.
fun, yeah.
We got one kid that cannot wait to get to school,
Yeah.
and she loves it. I get home last night. I kid you not. I get home last night. Maisie's at the kitchen table. The coffee maker's on, and I'm like, "What is going on?" She's like, "I'm studying for a test. I just made myself a cup of coffee." I'm like, "Okay, that's very adult of you," but she's cranking it out.
Yeah.
I come back to work. I get home at 11. I go up into her room. She wasn't drinking coffee. She was up studying for a test that she had, and wake up early this morning. She's studying again.
Yeah.
She loves it.
Yeah.
Piper, that's not her thing, and that's okay. We're trying to find that thing. And I think other parents that are watching this probably agree. It is a journey because you don't want they're two completely different individuals. Think about you and your sisters.
Opposite,
How
night and day.
different you are.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to champion whatever it is that they like. And so, Piper's my older soul.
Yeah.
We'll find her something like, Maisie likes to drive around and listen to T Swift and Chapel Roan, and Maisie loves some Kendrick Lamar.
Oh.
Okay. But Piper's my old soul. She wants to listen to music from the 80s. She loves Fleetwood Mac.
She's very
She
chill.
likes to listen to Queen.
Yeah.
She's just that old soul. And so we'll find her thing.
Maybe some books like in that kind of, like 80s kind of time period. Maybe that would be like her jam,
I might need to
like
get
music.
her,
Yeah.
What if I get her, because again, I love the Choose Your Own Adventure. Maybe I need
So just
to
go ahead and order it. Just put it
fire
in the
some of
cart.
those up. I wonder if any parents out there, and please reach out to me.
Yes.
My email is ajustus@kmr.com. You can find me on Facebook and everything. But I wonder how many parents, like,
Have that same
growing
thing.
up, read any of this. It was just, I remember this one. I remember this book in particular, Inside UFO 5440. It just was so much fun. I couldn't get over it. We were talking, Maya, about kind of different. Ooh, look at that! I got creative.
Oh,
What do you think about
nice.
that? That
I
was
like
really nice.
that.
I'm punching buttons over here.
Just press them.
I'm punching buttons, Maya. This was it was Dragonlance Chronicles is what it was. These were the ones that kind of growing up. This is a much updated version of what I did, but the classic Dragonlance series.
Yeah. You have to find your thing.
Yeah, you find whatever that thing is. You find it, and you hope that you're doing. I'm curious, and I know you probably have talked about this. What was something that you remember from your childhood of reading, and something that kind of started getting you hooked on it?
So the school that I went to, it was K through 12, and so when I was in kindergarten, 1st and 5th grade, we had reading buddies. And I liked reading. Like, my parents would read to me, like, that was normal. But I think having the reading buddies come, and they were like juniors and seniors in high school, come and read to us and like read with us was really cool for me. And so as I got older, I was like, I can't wait until I have this teacher so that I can do the same thing and read with these kids. And so like my junior and senior year, I got to go and I got to read to the kindergartners and to the 1st graders. And so for me, that was really fun, and just seeing the growth that they had, but also realizing the growth that I had too, because I think that there is a lot of pressure in reading because, you know, like, you want to read for fun, but you also need to read to understand. And so it's like finding the balance of it. And so, like, for me, I love the Junie B. Jones books, the Babysitter's Club, Boxcar Kids. Like, that was my jam. Like, love those books because each one took you on an adventure. And so, like, when I was younger, like, I wasn't into, like, the romantic movies or books and things like that. But I wanted to go on an adventure every time I read because it's, like, a way to escape. In a sense, when you find a good book, it's like you can kind of escape, and that's always what stands out to me in reading. And it's like it helps kids with their imagination too, which is really fun. It's like they come up with things you're like, how did you think of that? And it's like, oh well, this book, and it's like it's just so fun.
It does. I mean, I think it just, you're training your brain to use creative imagination. It's funny that you said that. I remember when Piper was young. She gravitated toward, this is going to sound crazy, but I started a series with them called The Never Ending Story, but it wasn't the book. Yeah. But I would start telling a story that I would just make up. Yeah. And I would get to this certain point, and I would include our family members in this story that I told. So we would get to a point at night before bed. They were like, Dad, tell us some more of The Never Ending Story. And I would say, okay, where were we last night? And they were like, we had these, everybody had a superpower, and we had to work together as a family with our superpower. Yeah. Like, I don't remember, I think Maisie could turn into animals. Nice. Or no, not turn into animals. She could talk to animals. Okay. So everybody
Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah. So everybody had their thing, and we used that to, like, we were like fighting the bad guys with our superpowers of trying to save and all that. So I would tell them the story, the Never Ending Story, and we would just carry it on and on and on. And to this day, like, you know what, I was telling you, I gravitate toward, in my free time, like, I like some self-help stuff and everything, but I would say my splurge now. And I think it goes back to, it's fantasy. Yeah. It goes back to growing up reading all of those novels of reading, like Brandon Sanderson, the Mistborn series. I've really enjoyed that. And the guys back in production are always, I'm on to something else. I loved time travel as well. Okay. Any book that had anything to do with time travel, I gravitated toward that. Which I really, because I love to go different places. One of the best time travel books I've ever read in my life, and I'm gonna have to jump out and do Studio 4.
Andy has to go do news. While you're looking this up, though, what are your 4 takeaways or 4 favorite books that you have read to your kids? Or what advice would you give to parents who maybe, you know, they have one kid who loves reading, but one kid maybe doesn't love it?
Boom Chicka Boom was definitely number 1. Yeah. And then I would put the Maisie series, because Maisie loved it so much. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with Dr. Seuss. Classic. And finding seasonal books. We always read The Night Before Christmas, and because of church and everything, I would try to find a kid's book that could relate to the love of Jesus somehow, like trying to get them even at an early age to be thinking about that. Yeah. And then I would find a book because they were like this, like you can understand this. And so I think one time we found a book where it was two sisters that fought all the time.
They work together.
So yeah, those are the 4 takeaways. I won't even go to the thing, but if you like time travel, there's a book from Stephen King. It's about the assassination of JFK. It's a time travel book. That was crazy. That was fun. That was one of the best books that I've ever written as an adult. But parents, I would say this. Let's say that you feel like you're not good at reading. Read. That your kids do not care. They love the sound of your voice. They love that you are there. Put this thing down, this phone. Leave it in the other room so you won't be distracted. Your kids see that.
Yeah.
I had my daughter one time pick up my phone and move it away. And I'm like, okay, I've got my priorities messed up here. And so put that into the room. Read. They love you. They love the sound of your voice.
Yeah.
Who cares if you don't think you're good at it? Your kids think you're great. So do that.
Great. Perfect. Andy, thanks for being here. We're going to have you back on. This was fun.
Yeah, anytime. You know,
Yeah.
you and I can chat forever. We do it on a daily
all the
basis.
time.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for having me in.
Of course.